Hello everyone, I am Yeshua. So we will be talking about a recent event that has happened. As everyone knows, on July 13th there was attempted Trump shooting assassination, and so I plan to label out the details to you all here today and get you guys right with what is going on. And I also recommend you guys do your own research as well. I am not claiming anything to be true or false or anything of the rather. This is just what has happened recently. It's been on my mind, and I thought I would just make a video about it. So as you guys know, if you guys watched the Trump shooting video, you guys are going to hear gunshots. Trump touches his ear, gets down to the ground, and Secret Service is there for a little while with Trump. And then they get up. Trump says, "Wait," and then says, "Fight, fight, fight," with his fists in the air, and also poses for a photo with his fists in the air as well. Then he gets led to a car where he supposedly goes to the hospital and comes out and says that he is all fine afterwards.
It's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Moving his hair. Hold. When you're ready. On you.
Ready?
Move.
Up.
Move. Go.
Up. Hawkeye's here.
Hawkeye's here. Move it to spare.
Spare, get ready. Spare, get ready.
We ready?
You know what? I should put Tony.
Down. Down.
We good?
You see the agents surrounding the former president there,
Let's go.
which is what they are trained to do. They're all wearing bulletproof vests.
And you can see sort of the crowd stunned right now. I heard a lot of reactions earlier that they thought maybe that those pops were fireworks, and probably not sure what to think right now. And then you see President Trump getting up, and the Secret Service, as is protocol surrounding him, waiting until they know that the shooter. I think you heard on this, Mike, that they're saying that the shooter has been apprehended or the shooter has been taken out or something to that effect, and that's when they know that they're safe to leave the stage. So very scary moments indeed, those pops. I mean, this is something that that too many folks in the United States have witnessed and been privy to over the last several years with mass shootings. And of course, here in Chicago, especially last 4th of July, 108 shot and 19 killed. This was an AR-15, apparently, according to what we've heard, an automatic weapon, something that especially Democratic politicians have been trying to put a ban on again in the United States. Most of these mass shootings are happening with these automatic weapons, and it remains a debate that's raging in terms of what to do about that.
And when you watch this again, I noticed there are almost like two separate rounds of volleys of shots fired. One would expect maybe the first was from the gunman, the second round was from the Secret Service agents once they located him on the roof outside the secure perimeter.
And I think that's what they were saying earlier, that the second round that you heard were the Secret Service agents, and now you see that.
No matter what your opinion may be on this subject matter, we have a suspected, identified shooter named Thomas Matthew Crooks. So let's start off with that. I'm sure you guys have all seen that interview, BBC interview with that guy with his orange hair, talking about how he saw the shooter on top of the building several minutes before the shooting, and they have came out and even said that police were in that building as well, and that they just didn't see the shooter climbing up on the building. Then when a police officer went to go on top of the building, he got a gun pointed to his face and got scared, dropped down, all according to the mainstream narrative. And so news articles have also came out and said that this suspect, Thomas Matthew Crooks, had bombs in his car and in his house. which appears to be a sign that Thomas Matthew Crooks was brainwashed into this, and that he was a Manchurian Candidate patsy MK Ultra victim. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically someone who is easily manipulated and taken advantage of, who these guys like the CIA brainwashed into doing these things, and that would be why nothing happened to Thomas Matthew Crooks at the time if it was him as the suspect, because usually these guys at these events end up running away, right? And they're never to be seen again, or so. Alright, so a recent article by the New York Times also reported that on Thomas Matthew Crooks, that this was going to be his premiere day, which he wrote on his Steam profile. Let's also not forget the BLACKROCK ad where Thomas Matthew Crooks was in, which also is very suspicious because this company owns everything, or at least we are told. Thomas Matthew Crooks' father, Matthew Crooks, works as a mental health care counselor. Now, here's where the government wants to come out about this, that this guy is a registered Republican, and Republicans are not believing the narrative that this is the actual shooter. The thing which they were allowing to trend on Twitter was that the shooter is actually Maxwell Yearick, who conveniently happens to be a Antifa member. So now they are saying that the government is covering up a Antifa member, right? And they're saying he did it. Now, I know that they took this guy's social media away and such things like that, which is obviously strange and very odd. The government instantly released the photo of this guy, Maxwell Yearick, as well, which never occurs, which is seen as a form of gaslighting, right? The shooter had a AR-15, and the conservatives don't believe that it is the guy who they are telling us because it doesn't fit their narrative. They want to believe it is a Antifa liberal who was hired by the deep state to take Trump out. Now, what people don't understand, though, is that these are Manchurian candidates. So Bill Cooper's book goes into this in Project Orion, where this is a mental patient process where these guys are under voluntary hypnosis. But they put these guys under CIA mind control methods to make Manchurian candidates to carry out these events, which are typically done at schools. So a day after this happens, which they haven't told anyone, is that suspected Israeli airstrikes have been reported. Then Elon Musk comes out and endorses Trump on Twitter and is going to send him $45 million a month. Then you have the RNC a day after as well, or the Republican National Committee, where it is just filled with New World Order symbolism all over the place. Trump picks his vice president also during this time as well, who's J.D. Vance, who is a Zionist, who says if you hit Iran, you hit them hard. And then news articles start coming out saying that Iran was planning a assassination on Trump. And then Trump at the RNC also states that we want our hostages back, and they better be back before I assume office, or you will be paying a very big price.
We want our hostages back, and they better be back before I assume office, or you will be paying a very big price.
A Washington Post article yesterday confirms that Trump is ahead for the presidency. This article says the average of national polls now gives Trump a lead of between 2 and 3 percentage points, representing a small shift in his direction since the June 27th CNN debate in Atlanta. and then goes on to say that Trump is at 52% and Biden is at 47%. And so the fence sitters between either Trump or Biden are being pushed towards Trump because they are thinking that, oh wow, it's true that Trump is trying to get killed by the deep state, which is not true whatsoever. Trump's vice president pick, J.D. Vance, was funded by Bilderberg member Palantir Teal, which is reported at least $10 million went towards funding J.D. Vance's candidacy. Palantir Teal was also a key teammate in Operation Warp Speed as well. And Israel 365 News reports that Vance has also pushed for increased military aid to Israel and called for a more assertive U.S. stance against Iran, which he views as the primary sponsor of Hamas and other terrorist groups in the region. Now, there's a lot of stuff going into this, and my view is that this was a event to push Trump towards his presidency, to get those fence sitters, because according to the numbers, Trump was barely passing Biden, and now those fence sitters that are between Biden or Trump, they're now going to go and vote Trump, more likely. And you'll see a lot more coming out about this too. And I would say just keep on the lookout for what's coming up. And and this was most definitely a event that is supposed to happen in a manner that is somewhat staged, if not staged in that sense, because of just what I've shown you and what they're doing, and how a potential World War III is on the rise. So just keep that in mind. I also want to say that none of this can be truthful as well. No, I might be, all this might just be fake news. All this might just be stuff that I could be lying about. And yeah, so I hope you guys take that as you will. I hope you guys go do your own research. I don't claim that this is real stuff or claim that this is truth, but I'm just letting you guys know. Wink, wink. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video, and get this stuff out there, because people need to know this. So thank you guys.